Okay, good morning, RLT and everyone out there in YouTube. Happy Monday. Hope everybody had an amazing weekend. Taking a look at the markets. What are we going to do? That's a good question. Right now, you can see we are on the, here's the S&P and here's the NASDAQ trading down right now from Friday. So we're inside Friday's action, but we're trading lower in terms of Friday's close. I want to just maximize a couple of these real quick. Take a look at. All right. So taking a look at the S&P and the screen, is it just Joe, or can everyone see? It's all good. I can see it. Okay. So Joe, Dan can see it. Okay. So Joe, maybe it's just an issue on your end. Maybe you just have to restart. So anyway, here's taking a look at the S&P. This is, the last year. So I know Dan was talking about this on Friday, but just to, take a look at where we are from the highs back here to the lows. We are above the 50% retracement. We're coming into this. Here's the 200 on the daily. 61.8 retracement is up here. So we're definitely into an area where we could roll back down from here, especially with that 200 overhead. So that's the S&P, and just be aware that we do have this 200 right up in here, and we're currently above the 50% retracement. Not quite. We haven't quite yet hit that 61.8. So potential to roll back down from here. Similar look on the NASDAQ. Let me expand this. So I won't zoom all the way out. The lines are there, but you can see we are not quite to the 50 on the NASDAQ. So the S&P has retraced a little bit more than the NASDAQ, but we are definitely above this 38.2 level right here. Here's the 50, but again, we do have this overhead 200 as well. So definitely some resistance overhead and into an area where we could expect a potential retracement from here. We have made a decent move off the lows, so it wouldn't be out of the question to see this pull back some before it starts to head back higher. Here on the SPY, I'm not going to blow all this up. Let me just expand this a little bit just so we can get a clear look what the futures are doing. This is the futures on the 5-minute. That's the S&P. Here's the NASDAQ. Just take a look at all. I'll just keep this open just so I can see the price movement on the 5-minute chart. But on the SPY, Q, similar look. Obviously, SPY is going to follow what the S&P is doing. We do have, here's that 200 on the daily. This jagged line up above that is the weekly 50 above it. So there's definitely some overhead resistance there. We are above the 50% retracement here on SPY. On the Qs, similar look to the NASDAQ, of course. So we're above the 38.2. Here's the, this is the weekly 100. Just double check that. Yep, it's the higher time frame. So that's the weekly 100. Right overhead. Then we have, this is the 200 coming down here. So that's the 200 on the daily, but then the weekly 100. So we do have some overhead resistance. Again, we are trading lower currently from Friday's close, but we are inside of Friday's price action currently. So wouldn't be shocking, and especially since it's a Monday in August, it would not be shocking to just have a lot of chop and sideways action. So let's take a look at the tickers that we follow for the 10 EMA strategy. Just give me a one if you can see that the screen now with Tesla, NVDA, Amazon. Perfect. Thank you. Is Joe back in? Joe, did you figure out your technical issue? Buenos dias, Hector. Happy Monday. All right. I'm not sure if Joe figured out the technical issue yet, but give me a second. Gonna take a sip of my coffee. All right, let's check out our tickers for the 10 EMA strategy. Tesla right now looks like it's trading above Friday's high. Just double check this. Let me on a different screen. I'm just going to throw Tesla up so I can see it on the daily. But I believe it looks like we're trading above Friday's price action. Yeah, so we are currently above it. Zoom in a little bit here. Okay, so currently above Friday's price action. Here's the this orange line here is the high pre-market, which is 905. You can see that right here. Friday's close was 909. So definitely above it. So if Tesla holds here, it will be in play immediately. But by immediately, that doesn't mean I'm going to jump right into Tesla right away. Again, since it's a Monday, it's August. We are going to be trading inside of the range from the futures, S&P and the NASDAQ. So I'm going to be patient this morning. I'm not seeing anything that's making me want to jump into anything right out of the gates. NVIDIA broke the Friday's high. Pre-market came back in, so we are trading back into the range on NVIDIA. Let me just pull this up on my other screen. Just a couple things to be aware on NVIDIA if we do end up going bullish. So a couple things. So Friday, right? So Friday, the high on NVIDIA was 187.18. The close was 187.09. I mean, that's not exactly a shaved top, but it's pretty close when you're talking a stock that's almost, a $200 stock and it closes within pennies of its high. So let me just go to a different screen share here so you can see what I'm looking at. Okay, so here's NVIDIA, just looking at the price action from Friday. So we actually did break above Thursday's high, just barely got above that. But again, not quite a shave top, but pretty close. I mean, within pennies. So I would expect NVIDIA to come back into maybe retrace maybe about 30% from the highs from Friday. So somewhere around this this pre-market low potentially before it starts heading back up. So right now we are trading below the, you can see, so that line that I was just pointing out, could get down into this, the pre-market lows here before it starts heading back up. So that's typically what I find when you're looking at a candle that's like a shaved top candle, is that it is going to retrace the next day. So don't be surprised if it does come back down into the pre-market lows before it starts heading back up. But again, we will be watching the market because most of this is going to follow what the market's doing. So if the market is going to be falling and looking weak, then looks like NVIDIA, I don't see anything that's really doing anything drastically different than the market right now. So Amazon. Oh, back to NVIDIA. Also, if we do end up heading bullish out of here, we do have a couple of overhead moving averages here. So this is the weekly 100 and that's the daily 100, and they are both right at the same level. So 190.03, both the daily 100 and the weekly 100 are right there. So that will be some overhead resistance. This is the monthly 20 EMA up here, this thick black line. So just be aware, you do have some levels, key levels that you have to be aware of for in terms of if we go bullish and where you're going to want to take potentially want to look to take profit, or where you might want to expect it to retrace if it hits that level. If it trades that level, probably going to retrace. Amazon. All right. Amazon, a lot going on here. Amazon's got just a ton of moving averages around the current price action. So this thick black line, again, this is the daily chart. So the thick black line here is the monthly, that is the monthly 20. We have the monthly 10 EMA here. So right now, for the last couple of days here, so this is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So Amazon's price action is just sandwiched between those monthly moving averages. So it's just building up some pressure. So question is, which way is it going to break? And we don't know yet, right? So if we anticipate that the market could pull back, well, then Amazon will probably break to the bearish side. But right now, just completely sandwiched between those major monthly moving averages. You do have this is the daily 200 here, also overhead. And then down here, this is on the daily, this is the 10 on the daily chart. So lots of moving averages. You have, here's the weekly 50. So there are a bunch of moving averages in and around the current price action on Amazon. So do expect some chop there. It'd be interesting to see which way this breaks out of this sandwich here, this monthly sandwich. AMD. So AMD is interesting because I was looking at AMD on the daily chart, and I think I was talking about this on Friday. But if you look here, right? So we have a potential cup and handle forming here on the daily. So here's the this high and this high. Here's the cup portion. We have pulled back. We formed. If we zoom in here a little bit, here's the handle, right? So this is for the cup and handle formation, right? You expect once it comes back up here, it forms the cup, it's going to pull back a little bit. And then this is going to then create that bullish movement back up. But we do have to clear this candle here. So right now we're just, we pull back here for the handle. This has to go back up to complete this this candle formation. It needs to get back above this area here. So we'll keep an eye on AMD for that. In terms of current price action, it also, like Amazon, here's that monthly, this thick red line. That's the monthly 10. This black line is the monthly 20. So again, price action in between, sandwiched in between those monthly moving averages. There's this is the weekly 100 here. So again, just like Amazon, there are a lot of moving averages in and around AMD's price action. Here's the daily. This is the daily 10 EMA here, the daily 20 down here. And then if we do break up in here, you have, this is the weekly. Let me just double check. Yep, that's the weekly, and that's the daily. So you have weekly 50 overhead. You have the daily 200 overhead. If we do break out of this cup and handle formation, which again, a lot will depend on the market, what the market decides to do, if it's going to pull back at this point. We could, trade back, pull back a little bit for the next couple of days, then get another push up into those, into the 200 on the for the SPY and the Qs, and then pull back from there. Just have to wait and see. Last time I checked, my crystal ball was not working all that well. Let's look at Delta. All right, so Delta, we on the daily here, this highlighted this rectangle area. I drew that in here. Just that is a gap that I was looking for this to close. It kind of got there, not quite. So this was on Thursday. It tried to push up there. So we still have this gap to finish closing. We have inside. Friday was an inside day candle compared to Thursday. not a ton, unlike the other ones that we've been looking at, not a ton of moving averages immediately. There's nothing monthly immediately in the area of the current price action. This is up in here. This is the daily 100 here. So in terms of current price action, we're up near Friday's high. We broke through it a little bit pre-market, came back in. So we are currently trading within Friday's range, but this could, end up breaking out of here. Again, lots going to depend on what the market does when the market opens. Let's see. Chat is quiet. Any questions, thoughts, comments? I keep looking over at the chat thinking there's going to be, a couple questions, couple comments. All right. Good morning, Matt. All right. I'm glad I just saw Matt's chat because I was like, is everyone still here? It's really quiet. All right. Let's take a look at Airbnb. If I can type it in there correctly. All right. So Airbnb Friday inside day compared to Thursday. Right now, looks like we are trading within the range from Friday. So could be another inside day. And so just means that it's building pressure. The more it goes sideways, the more inside days it has, the more pressure it's building. Not seeing anything that, jumps out at me in terms of what to expect today. Just looking at inside price action. So expect some chop. This whole market so far this last couple of weeks because of summer, things slow down. It has been rather choppy. Hey, Albert, good morning. All right, Roblox. Okay, Roblox, like everything else, is trading within Friday's range currently. From what I'm looking at, it seems like Tesla is the only one that's currently above Friday's price action. So everything else is trading within Friday's price action. So Roblox the same. Friday, it looks like we broke a little bit below the low here, but it got bought up. But we're trading within Friday's range here. So see which way this decides to go. Interesting candle here, this, the shooting star here, but, we had earnings and look at this volume spike here on earnings. Like this is a pretty strong candle, but then we get, obviously at one point this would have been another big bullish candle, but then it sold off. The bear stepped in, pushed it back down. So it'll be interesting to see if we can break above, if we can get above this and trap all the bears that we're selling through here. That would be a nice little catalyst to see Roblox go higher. Let's see. Josh was asking, is it only considered a gap if it opens below the price range of the previous day? So yeah. So Joshua. So when we're talking about gaps, yes. So the gap, there's when you're trading gaps, yes, technically the price would have to clear the higher low from the previous day. So Friday, right, has to clear the higher low. So let me give you an example. But you can gap over or below the close, right, but still be within the price action of the previous day. So in this case, like let's say if Roblox were to open down here below, so here was the open from Friday. Let's say if Roblox gaps and it goes, opens below the open from Friday. Technically, yes, that's gapping down, but it's not clearing that candle. So when we talk about like a retest gap or a gap and go, we're referring to gaps that are clearing the previous day's price action. So let me give you an example. I was just looking through pre-market scanner And looks like the energy stocks in general, that sector is trading lower. So let me give you, here's an example with Oxy. Okay. So Friday. Okay. So here was the low of Friday. The low from Friday here was 64.79, right? This green line right here, which is carrying over to the 5-minute chart. Right now, if Oxy opens down here, and there's no reason to think that it wouldn't open down there, that is a bearish gap and go, because we had a bullish candle on Friday. Now we are gapping below that and we're clearing the low from Friday, right? And so that is a bearish gap and go. Now, the only thing to be aware of, and typically with bearish gap and goes, you expect them to move quickly. Or if it's a gap and go in either direction, you do expect price action to move pretty quickly. Whereas with a retest gap, if we had a bullish candle on Friday, if we gapped above that, that would be a bullish retest gap, and you would expect price to retrace back down first before it heads back up. But the gap and go, you look for it to go more quickly. Now, the only thing with Oxy that I would point out, if anybody's thinking about trading Oxy, is it's already gapping to a target, right? So the pre-market low here and where it's gapping to is the daily 10 EMA right here, right? So it's gapping right into support. So I would just be cautious of that. So if you're looking to go short on something like Oxy, you want to be aware of where it's gapping to, and it's already gapping to a target. So you just want to be cautious of that. You want to be aware, and maybe what you would want to do is see it get below this price level, hold, come back up, roll up, and then look to take it short again. But then, you do have to be aware there are other moving averages coming into play here. There's the, this is the 20 there. Hang on a second, get a proper line in here. So you have the 20 right here. So you do have some support that you just have to be aware of if you're going to look to take something like Oxy short. Even though it's a bearish gap and go, which typically is a strong move, it's also going right into some support. So just be aware of that. Joshua, did that help clarify that question? Cool. Yeah. So again, you can, you're welcome. So you can gap above or below a close, but again, if you're looking to actually technically trade a gap, it needs to clear the previous day's high or low. Okay. Tony, let's take a look at Tesla. So if we want to address that question here. So yes. So on Tesla. Okay. And again, this is, I mean, we're talking $900 stock. The high of this was 948. The close was 909. I mean, there was buying like right up until the close, right? So what Tony is asking is, he says, Tony says, so Tesla today is a bullish retest gap. Yes, right? So you have a bullish candle from Friday. We are going to be gapping slightly above it, right? We're gapping right into, let me adjust my lines here real quick. Give me a second, because Tesla has moved up since I first put in all my lines. So right now, this orange line is the pre-market high, and Tesla, that's where Tesla is right now. So yes, price action is right up here. That's a bullish retest gap, because it's a bullish candle. It's going to be gapping up. So that would be a retest gap. Now, back to what I was saying about this type of a candle. Again, I would expect Tesla to come back down and retrace into these levels, like maybe the pre-market low, somewhere in this area here before it goes up, right? So that's, again, just generally with that type of a candle, whether it's a shaved top or it's close to a shaved top, I do expect some type of a retest. There's going to be profit takers on that. So you get the gap up, and so there's people who are going to be instantly profitable from Friday. They're going to want to take some profit. They'll take the profit. That's going to cause price to go back down. And then people will start the bargain shoppers will look to get in to Tesla lower. And then that will push price back up potentially. Tony, does that answer your question? Yep, cool. Awesome. Okay, so we can take a look at some gaps. We have 4 more minutes before the market opens. Let me pull up my my scanner. To go to a different share so you can see the scanner. Okay, can everybody see my scanner? Yeah, so Kyle, I don't know if you caught what I said before, but energy in general is trading lower. So I pointed out that Oxy is a bearish gap and go. I think you just mentioned Halliburton, right? So you can't see what I'm looking. I'm just going to take a look at Halliburton real quick on my other screen here. So yeah, so you have Halliburton would be a bearish gap and go. Question is, where is it going to open? 28.25. So let me just, if you can look here on this, here, so here's my scanner. You can see here's gap ups, gap downs, right? So you're going to see a lot of energy stocks in here that are gapping down. So the only thing with is Halliburton. Let's just take a look at that since Kyle brought it up. Okay, so here's Halliburton. Okay, so here's Friday. Again, we're talking bullish candle on Friday. Nice lower wick. That means there was a lot of buyers. Yeah, I'll take a look at LI in a second. So a lot of buying here to push price up after it had been down. So it is it's gapping down currently, right? So right now we're down around 28.25, right? Was the low here. So the only thing to be aware of, right, is look at where it's going to open. So the question is, yes, it's gapping down. Friday was a bullish candle. It's technically a bearish gap and go, but it's clearing Friday, but it's not clearing any of these other bullish candles, right? So you have the low of this candle right here, low 27.45, right? So we're trading up in here right now. We're up in the 28, where are we? 28.50 level currently, right? So we're clearing this candle, but we're not clearing this. So when you analyze the gap, you have to look at, great, it's trapping people from Friday, but are any of the bulls who got in on this candle or maybe this candle, are they fearful because of this gap? And the answer to it is probably not, right? Because it's not clearing. So the quality of the gap is going to be determined by it potentially clearing a strong pivot. Something like if it gapped below the low of this wick here, there would be a lot of people trapped. So right now it's gapping down, but it's not the greatest gap and go. Let me we'll take a look at LI right now, but let me sign off of YouTube real quick. Want to thank everybody who was here watching us live from YouTube. Again, if you want to join the real life trading community, go over to reallifetrading.com. Great group of traders. We all trade together, support each other. Lots of love. So head on over,